All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday morning. Hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Good morning, Norm. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to be back. I haven't traded in 3 days, and I gotta say I'm definitely anxious to trade today. But we're gonna definitely control those those impulses. But it's good to be back. I definitely miss
Sure.
being here with the pre-market show and you guys. So I'm happy to be back. All right, guys, let's get into it. I really hope everyone had an amazing weekend. If you were celebrating fifth Cinco de Mayo yesterday, hope you were enjoying yourself as well, and that you're not too hungover to trade today. So hopefully, you was able to save some ammo for today. Also, congrats to Norm. Norm, congratulations on that 1 year anniversary late last week on the third. So again, it might seem
Thank you, man.
small to a lot of people. It might say, "Oh, 1 year, big deal," but it is huge, especially in this career. It's not easy to get past a couple of months, couple of weeks. You go through the ups and downs, trying to get a groove on, and you just can't seem to find your niche. And breaking 1 year, it is actually not an easy thing to do. You can ask many traders. The majority quit way before then, either blow up their account or just can't seem to find a rhythm. So congrats to that on Norm. All right, guys.
Thank you, man.
Anytime. So let's get into it. Today seems exciting. It looks like we're gonna have a red day today so far. A lot of red on the board. Trade ideas
Yeah,
is just all red right now, right? I mean,
you picked a hell of a day to come back, didn't you?
yeah. Well, I gotta tell you, it was a few days last week where I came back to my trading station very late in the day, not to trade, just to kind of see what happened because I was busy tied up on all the mornings. And man, there was some good moves out here. There was some really good stuff happening. I believe it was either Wednesday or Thursday. There were some things that just a lot of activity with the markets, which is great. Creates a lot of movements, and we're seeing that today. Market is down 1.4 right now. Nasdaq 100 is down 1.7, and this was creating all this red on this board here. Now our job today is to figure out which one of these is actually moving with not moving with as much as with the market, but moving on its own. So maybe some of these 4.1s, 4.6, 5.1 have something else going on that's helping them move and could create some good opportunities. And obviously, anything gapping up today is clearly moving on its own. So it's good to see, AX and SM here up 14%, 2.8. Another one here, 2.5. So it'll be good to see what's making those move when the entire market is moving down. So that's going to be interesting to see. All right, folks, we have a lot in here. Let's get into it right away. Let's see what we have with some volume, some good pre-market action, some good activity. A lot going on today. Also, we have the Bear Bull Traders Challenge has finished last week, so we're looking forward to announce that. Norm, either later on tonight or maybe tomorrow morning. I know we're crunching some data, correct?
Yep,
Yeah, so we're
correct.
so we're getting some matrix together. We have the data. We just want to get some nice matrix of equity curves like we did last time. Kind of show you how consistency played a very important part in this challenge, and that's what we try to preach here is consistency, right? Anybody can have one or two good trades, but can you do it on a consistent basis? That's the key. All right, so let's get started here with whatever is green, which is not much compared to whatever is red. Let's start with AXSM up 13.9, 109 in volume. So not great volume. I have this one actually up right now here because some of you guys were mentioning in the chat room. Has a beautiful daily chart. Pre-market action, not so great. It does have a bit of a chop going on right now, and that's because again it just needs more volume, right? 109 is above 100,000, but the pre-market action is not creating anything fancy here. You can see here a 25k is just sitting right on this big huge candle. So again, just that's 25% of the volume just on this one nasty candle here. So it is early 8:35 Eastern time. Let's see if that develops and gives us a better a movement. What is the float? 17.5. All right, so it's not a low flow, but it is on the lower side. So we do have to be a little careful with this one. It can move on you 40 to 50 cents in a matter of seconds. You can see right on here, sitting at 20, 45, but 20 is just right there. So it can really move against you. So although it's not a low float, especially for me, since I am coming back of taking off 3 days, I'm going to put this on the riskier part because I want to be cautious with it. I want to be able to manage my risk and not take maybe I won't take a full size on a stock that can move this much. Next, we have Z. Let's look at ZYNE. ZYNE is up 6.1, 101,000 shares traded so far. Pre-market action not looking so great. Very similar to AXSM, actually. It's got that similar look, similar choppiness. Only 101,000 shares traded so far. Daily chart looks great. I do like this nice trend it has going here. It loses it mainly because the market thing also dropped around this time as well last week. But now is bouncing back up here, so that looks good. Good daily chart here. Just the pre-market action not looking great. We'll come back to it. Flow also a lower flow. On this 13.5 on the flow. So I'm just gonna throw it down here as well. Next we have APC. APC is up 2.7, 1.9 million shares traded so far. So that is quite a bit. I got some serious volume going on here. Pre-market action, it's looking a little flat. Hopefully it can get better. Again, it's a little bit early. Hopefully it can get better. This is why on regular days like Tuesday through Fridays, we like to go over the stuff that we did yesterday. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome to the pre-market show. But usually we'll do the stocks in play for the day before, like on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursday and Fridays. And that gives time for this thing to develop as the markets are going and getting some volume. I remember this one. This is the one that gapped up.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was
This is Anadarko that's being it's trying to be bought by either Chevron or Occidental.
Yep.
And they've upped their bids, and now Buffett's involved. So
yeah. So this has definitely taken a nice little run here. It was trading around 45, and it got up to 60, and now at 74. So yeah, this one is it's been in play over the last couple of days, and it looks like it wants to get higher today, up 2.8 with some serious volume. But again, although it has 2 million shares traded, the way it's been trading is in huge volumes, huge blocks of trades. You can see right on here. Each one of these is almost averaging over 300,000 shares in volume, right? So again, that does not create a good pre-market action when you get all that volume like that in just one drop. We're not getting this nice flow to it. So let's see how it develops. Let's see how it continues to go on as the morning gets later. BHC up 1.7, 119,000 shares traded so far. Let's see what the pre-market action looks like. A bit choppy at the moment. But it is up 1.7. Not the best daily chart. You got some real choppiness right here throughout the days. I do like that it's been testing this level here with the previous day low from 2 days ago right in this area. It's been testing that several times. It's kind of got like a double bottom going in the daily chart. It's trying to break out here. So that looks interesting. You got some clean levels in here you can break from. Look at this high of yesterday. Look at that 24. I mean, does it get cleaner than that? Support here, resistance here. Resistance last trading day on Friday, and now it broke out of that today, hit this moving average back down. So again, it's got an interesting daily chart, but the pre-market action not looking great at the moment. So we'll keep this on here, see if we can get more volume on it. Next we have Facebook. So now we're going to start getting into the ones that are gapping down. I'm going to assume that a lot of these 2.2s, 2.7s are all probably moving with the market, and hopefully the ones over in here are giving us some good opportunities. So over to Facebook. Facebook down 2.2%, 250,000 shares traded right now. Let's get rid of some of these moving at these levels that we have here. Has a nice, although this is pretty choppy, it does have a nice level that's trying to hold here at 190. So it's trying to hold this level. Looks like it tested it at 189.67, low of the pre-market. We got this tested 1, 2, 3 times here. So we can be putting in a bounce. This could literally, Facebook is probably just following the market, and this is why it's down today. But it does have a nice level to it. We'll keep it on here. It does have some good volume as well. 250,000 shares traded so far. And we know Facebook can put in a really good bounce if it gets going. Next we have X. X is here at 2.2. Not the best pre-market action. Got plenty of levels here. Let's just get rid of some of these here. 240,000 shares traded. Nothing special on the daily. Nothing special on the pre-market action neither. So again, another one that could be moving with the markets. We'll get some space in here. BA is down 2.2, 2.5. All right, so BA also, again, just a flat pre-market action. This is happening, guys, because again, I think all these are really dropping just with the market. Daily chart looks interesting, though. You have a moving average all the way down here. Not testing it, but pretty close to it on these 2 days, right? This one here and this one here kind of getting close to that area, holding this level and bouncing back. Today you have a situation where we're nearing that moving average as well. Actually, probably tested it, and now we're bouncing back. So BA's got some volume, 154,000 shares traded. Me personally, I do not like the way BA trades. I think it can be very choppy. So with all the stuff we have going on today, I'm just going to remove this one now. I'm not going to come back to it. And this is what you want to do on your side. If you have a stock like, for example, X, and you know X can be very choppy and you just don't trade it well, it's okay to remove it from your list now and not spend time, looking at it again, because we have quite a bit on here. I mean, look at this list. This list is huge. And just because we have so many doesn't mean that all the stuff is in play. There's going to be some stuff here that's not going to have any type of action. Do not feel the need to force any trades today. Today you want to actually be very picky on what you choose to trade. Twitter is also down 2.8. Again, just a flat pre-market action. It has 253,000 shares traded, but it's just all flat. Pretty nasty pre-market here. I don't like the way this looks. Daily chart is also funky. I mean, this is not looking great neither. Let's move on to, this thing keeps flipping on me. All right, so Facebook we checked. It keeps going in and out because it's probably going under 2 and above 2. So that's why it's doing that. X we have, BA I don't like. INTC, let's take a look at that one. INTC is down 2.7, 108,000 shares traded so far. And INTC is just so difficult to trade. It's just so choppy. You got to be very, very careful with this one. Right now, pretty much chop in the pre-market. Just barely cracking 100,000 shares traded. Daily chart looks interesting. Has been weak. And again, had this nice little drop here, gap down. It's just kind of been selling off. Had a pop here, couldn't hold, and right back down. And I'm sure the market is also helping that cause. So again, just don't like the pre-market action. We'll come back to it. Apple. Norm, this is your buddy today. What do you somewhat expect out of Apple today?
Today with the news that we got yesterday on the tariffs possibly increasing at the end of this week, and that's what's got this market selling off so hard. I mean, we're gapping down to 1.5% on the SPY at the moment, and it's been a while since we've had that much volatility. The VIX is up 35% since its close on Friday. So, I'm going to try to contain my FOMO, sit back and wait, and try to let it decide what it wants to do, and I'll go with the flow on that. Yeah. I think it'll probably hang on to that 20 moving average on the daily, but I wouldn't be surprised if it comes and tests it.
Right, yeah. That's exactly how you want to play a lot of these stocks today. It's a great point. Just sit back, see what it's trying to give you, and don't force anything out of there. So Apple right now, 694,000 shares traded, so it's quite a bit. Like it has a good daily chart here. I do like this moving average as well. This looks interesting. Let's make some more room so we can get through the rest here. Pins. What has Pin been up to the last couple of days? So down 2.9 today. All right, so it's been selling off for several days here. 137,000 shares traded. And as you can see here, let's remove these levels. Not plenty of levels to go by, but we do have some kind of levels happening here from the when it first opened up. Again, it's just kind of giving some back at this point. Interesting pre-market action. Not crazy volume. 137,000 shares traded. But again, just no volume here. No volume in this area. Most of it, half of the volume almost sitting right in, not half of it, probably a third or so just sitting here in this one candle. So not looking great. We'll come back to that. Next, we have QCOM, another one that's not easy to trade. You guys seen how this has been trading over the last couple of days. It's been very active after it had this huge pop here after settling with Apple on their lawsuits and whatever the case may be, the disagreements. And then we just had, and this is what a daily chart looks like when you have chop, right? This is what we've been seeing, just pretty choppy up and down, nothing going on. Today is down 2.9, 219,000 shares traded so far, but again, just pure chop. Again, another one that I'm not too interested on. Twitter, we took care of NVIDIA. Let's see what NVIDIA is giving us today. Oops. Here we go. NVIDIA down 3.7, 157,000 shares traded. Man, they all seem to have the same type of pre-market action. Again, I'm not seeing anything that's great. It's just there's going to be a day where you're going to have to sit and wait because I think everybody's going to wait to see, okay, what's the SPY going to do? Are we going to sell? And when I say the SPY, I'm talking about just the market in general, not just the SPY, right? Are we going to sell off from here or are we going to bounce back? There's going to be a lot of waiting, a lot of chop. I'm looking forward to hear what also Brian was going to fill us in on today. He has a good grasp on that kind of stuff. SQ, it is down 4.2. This is good as well. 159,000 shares traded. We got some levels we can find in this area here. But again, just that same pre-market action looks pretty flat. You kind of got the drop, you got the bounce, and just kind of chopping around. Most likely waiting to see what the SPY is going to do. Next, we have AMD. AMD, one of the stocks we trade quite often. Same deal with the pre-market. Let's look at the daily. Daily looks good. We got some levels in here, so we can possibly take a look at that. I'm leaving these all on here, but I'm gonna go through them again, and I'm gonna remove like the stuff I don't like to trade, like SQ, right? I don't like to trade SQ. It can be very choppy sometimes. So I probably will remove SQ, keep AMD, remove QCOM, remove pins because I don't have a lot of history on there. So this is where you want to be picky on what you're going to keep and what you're going to remove. All right. Next, MU. So for example, like a day like today, I'll watch MU. I like the way MU trades when it gets into a nice rotation, nice movement. Right now, pre-market action, again, pretty similar to what we've been seeing across the board. Daily chart, let's remove some of these levels. Pretty choppy on MU. JD, let's see what JD's up to. JD's down 4.9 at the moment. 340,000 shares traded. Yeah, so this looks again the same, pretty choppy pre-market action at the moment. Nothing interesting. Let's look at BABA. BABA's down 4.9 as well. BABA again, same pre-market. This actually looks a little better. It seems like it has more activity happening here on BABA on this pre-market. You got a nice little range here, up and down, kind of doing like a double top with some volume, 600,000 shares traded. So BABA looks a little interesting compared to everything else. And then the last one, IQ. All right, let's check out IQ, and then we'll see what you guys have on your list. And then we'll go through this and eliminate. I'm going to eliminate based a lot on just my own personal criterias. And you could do the same on your end, and we'll go into getting some levels. So IQ down 5.6, 177,000 shares traded, but a horrible pre-market action. Probably out of all of them, this is probably one of the worst. You're not seeing any kind of flow here, just really nothing happening at the moment. So let's see what you guys have on your end. Oxy, yes, Oxy's been popping in and out of the gappers list. It is down 1.9. So once it gets above 2, it'll pop in here. Got some good volume, 65,000 shares traded so far. Pretty again, choppy pre-market action, but everything has that type of pre-market action today. So nothing special on Oxy daily chart. What I like about Oxy though, look at this daily chart, right? It's pretty choppy up here, whatever the case may be, but it's been losing it, and now you're getting to a point where you're at a major support in this area, right? Last time it did this drop, it came right down to where the price action is sitting at now, and it bounced from there. So let's see what it does at this 56.55. Seems to be a major support over the last couple of months back in end of December. So let's see if it can put in a bounce today as well, all depending on what directions the market is going to take and if anything crazy is happening with Oxy. All right, so let me remove stuff from here. Just off the top, I'm going to remove stuff that I personally, again, a lot of these have the same pre-market action. So, for example, QCOM for me is very choppy. I'm going to remove that one. SQ as well. Yeah, I find a hard time trading SQ, so I'm going to take that one out the way. NVIDIA, I'm going to be picky today, right? So NVIDIA is a little bit higher price, 176. Nothing wrong with that type of stock. But my niche is between 20 to 80 to 90, right? But really between 20 and 80 is what I like to trade. So I'm going to remove NVIDIA. Because a lot of these, I believe, like the AMD, the MUs, the NVIDIA, the Apples, are probably all going to move very similar today with whatever the market does, right? So we have to sit back, wait, relax, and see what the market is going to give us. Today, I might not trade a 5-minute opening range breakup or breakdown. I might wait a little longer to see, just make sure that things are grooving in the way I wanted to move here. So I'm going to remove Apple as well. INTC has been just not easy to trade. Don't know about you guys.
I took a trade or two on it. Wow. Yeah, I've tried it, and it doesn't trade well for me, at least.
Yeah, it doesn't trade for me well neither. I tried it when it was gapping down here. I think the first day I got a good trade, but the second day of the gap, it got me. So I'm not gonna mess with it today. It doesn't have that much volume right now at the moment. Twitter's it can be choppy, but I'm gonna hold on to Twitter just to see what it does. I do have shares for short on top of that as well. It's got some volume. But you gotta be careful with that one. X is another one. X doesn't move much, so that's the problem with X right now. But this pre-market action looks probably one of the worst ones out of all the ones we have. So I'm gonna get rid of X. Facebook, I'm gonna keep Facebook. So it is a higher price stock, but we just want to see what this one does. BHP. I can't understand what BHP is doing with this pre-market action, but we'll get some levels for it. It's only two that are gapping up, so it'll be interesting to see what they provide us here, because they're gapping up now, and let's say the market decides to bounce. These could be ahead of the game in that type of scenario. Twitter's trying to drop here a bit. Pins, I'm gonna get rid of pins just because one, I don't have shares for sure, so I want to have availability to play both ways. And also, again, it's just recent IPO, so we don't have a lot of history, a lot of moving averages. days on this, a lot of history on it. So I'm just going to get rid of it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 so far. I think that's quite a bit. And then we have these 2 down here. We check how they're doing. AXNM seems like it's losing it out of best pre-market action. If it can hold here, price is going to drop down. All right, guys. So there's definitely a lot on here. Anything that you have that we might not have looked at, or something that I took off and you're still looking at it. Maybe you want us to get some levels or whatever the case may be. Now will be the time to shoot it out. Norm, anything besides Apple that we discussed, anything that you somewhat like today?
There's so much on this list. I like BABA to a degree. It can be difficult a little bit, but it's got a pretty good pre-market going in my eyes. Mm-hmm. So that's on my list. It's been on the gappers, and a lot of this is Chinese related. So it might be, it even though it's moving with the market, how the market's mm-hmm. going, it's a little bit exaggerated in what it's doing. So I kind of like those moves. And then, this isn't one of those mornings I need to go search for anything else, really.
Right. Agree. And actually, you make an excellent point. BABA does have, and I mentioned earlier too, it has a really good pre-market action. It's got like a double top going on here. I mean, yeah, it does. You know what? Maybe I'll switch Facebook for this one. Yep, let's do that. BABA does have a really good pre-market action. So we'll keep that on there. Someone mentioned Snap. Let's take a look at Snap, see what they're doing. My issue with Snap is that, again, it's just another one that could be very, very choppy, and it barely moves. You really got to sit in for a while, unless it's got some type of direction. So let me just check here. Yeah, not. And actually, the pre-market action right now on Snap, it's really choppy, guys. I mean, there's not much volume here. Yeah. I know it has 141,000 shares traded, but if you look at this makes up for half of that.
Half of it,
right? 60%. Yeah. 60,000 shares. So that's half of it right there. And then there's no nice action being created. Now, I understand, right? MU doesn't have a nice action. AMD doesn't have great action. Twitter doesn't have great action neither. But this one, if you compare like an AMD or like a MU, right? Let's say this is a 10 out of 6. Right now, Snap is looking like a 3 out of 10, right? It just doesn't look great. Does not look great at all, right? This is like a 3 out of 10. This is horrible pre-market action. So again, yes, these are not looking great. Oxy is not looking great. BABA does look great though. BABA looks amazing. This is a 7 out of 10 here. This is very good, clean pre-market action. We got a nice range happening here. This is what you want to see, right? It's creating a beautiful range in the pre-market with volume, 621,000 shares traded. So that's good to see. All right, anything else, guys? Anything else you guys like? All right, excellent. Let's go through this. Let's find some levels, and then we'll see if anything else pops up. This list is probably just going to continue to get bigger and bigger. If anything exciting shows up here that we have not gone through already, shoot it out to us, and we'll take a look at it. All right, let's start from the top. APC's pre-market actions. It's a little weird, but I do like the daily chart, and I do like the fact that it's been on the news quite often. Gapping up twice, big time, going from 45 area to the 65 range, and now towards the 75 range almost. So I do like this stock. It's interesting. It looks like after it gaps, it can do something here. So I want to see what the action brings at the open. So let's get some levels in here. I have the pre-market sitting at 74. Why didn't that mark? Oh, I'm hitting the wrong hockey. There we go. 74.94. I have the pre-market. Above that, let's check what we have above this. Let's go back. All right, so we got a nice level in here, 76.64. It's another level, and then we're sitting right at that 74.94. We're seeing that level right in here. You got several days testing that in that range. So let's see if we can crack that again one more time, and then we have 76.72 towards the top. Towards the bottom, you have the last high of the last couple of days ago at 73.61 right in here. Then below that, you have the previous day highs and lows all in this area. Since it's been just kind of chopping around in here, you got all these levels being created. It's just hanging around the previous day close, looks like, right? This level, and now we finally broke out of that. So this is good. Let's see if it can crack this, or if it can, if it doesn't, that could be some major resistance there. It can head back down towards these levels down here. Then we have a moving average all the way down here, just trying to creep up. So APC looks good on the daily. Again, the pre-market action doesn't look too great. Just want to see what that develops. BHC BHC is interesting. Again, it's kind of got like a double bottom going on here. It's breaking out from this level we talked about earlier. So towards the top, high of the pre-market sitting at 2440. Yep, 2440. And then we have another level. I like this level in here because it looks like it will support several days. 2171. Resistance here, support here, and then support here as well. So I like that level, 2471. And then if it happens to really take off here, you can mark down these 3 days here, 2530. That's a possible. But keep in mind also, if you go from 24, above 2471, that's a big move already for this stock. You can also use 25 as an area where you might want to take profits. Once you start getting above these levels and you start seeing some loss of momentum in the movement towards the top, don't be afraid to take partial out, depending on what your strategy is, right? Don't say, oh, I got to get to 2530. And then you end up, not getting there and not taking profits into your account. So be cautious with that. Pre-market action right now does not look great. Again, just very choppy. But I do like the daily chart. I think it's trying to get a bounce going here. It's one of the few stocks that are gapping up this morning. So it'd be interesting to see what it does. Twitter right now, again, just not doing much. Pretty choppy pre-market action. We'll get some levels for it, but not looking great as something I would like to trade or possibly watch. It might get dropped off. As you can see, again, got some chop going on in here. Had a beautiful pop in this day and then just chopped around. So that's created some highs and lows for us in the pre-market previous close in here. So the only level you really need to add is just this one down here. It's 36.89. You can possibly also add this moving average, 37.56. And you can do this one also in case it drops that at 38.22. So right in here, you got several levels. You don't need to add more towards the top. This previous day close seems to be a very tough resistance. So let's see if we can get up to that level. So that's Twitter. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. Again, the daily, the pre-market actions is very, very choppy. Again, you have this 298,000 shares traded, but that's not creating any type of action here. It's pretty flat. AMD, on the other hand, you can see some more movement over here. 1.4 million shares traded, so that's quite a bit. AMD trades a lot, but when you're at almost coming up on 9 o'clock Eastern time, and you're already at 1.5, that's some volume. So right now we have a very nice support coming in here around low from 2 days ago, around 26.50, slightly above it. We got this beautiful moving average right here, very clean, 26, right? So let's mark that down, 26.03. Then prior to that, or lower to that, we have this one down here, 24.46, based on this date, this date, this date, and also this one in here. So let's mark that down. I don't think you need to add any more, guys, towards the top. You got a previous day high and lows, previous day high and lows, and you also have the previous day close in here. That's a big run. So we'll need a lot of help from the markets to get up there. So let's see what it does. Pre-market action looks okay. Again, just pretty flat. Everything looks like this. Kind of waiting to see what the market is going to do at the open. MU is same situation. I also like that it's kind of hanging on this moving average, hanging on this. I'm going to mark this down. I know the price action is right on it. But if you notice, this price level here at 41.28 seems to be a support. 1, 2, 3, it breaks down, it comes back up to it. So at least 3 times it has been testing it. We're hanging around in this area now, right? 41.43. So let's see what we can do if we can crack that there. And then below that, the next clean level will be at 40.80. Very clean level, very close to the previous day. I'm sorry, the low of the pre-market hanging around at 41. You can mark that also. But let's see what it wants to do here. Pre-market action, not the greatest. AMD looks better. So, we'll keep an eye on that one. But pre-market action, not great. All right, Oxy. So Oxy is in here, great volume. I do like the daily chart. We spoke about it a few minutes ago. Again, it's got this very nice support coming up here. Major support. Hasn't been down here in a while, back in December, late December. Oh, we got some activity happening here now. That's because we're hitting 9 o'clock. So I'm sure some orders are being triggered. But as far as levels, let's get something. I'm just going to remove these. All right, so the low of yesterday, of 2 days ago, is sitting right on the level I'm talking about, right at 57. So below that we have 56.56, which is the low of the pre-market, and then above that you got the highs and lows of the two trading days ago, Thursday, trading days from Friday, highs and lows, and also previous day close. So you don't need to add any more on there. If we lose that 56.55, which is the support for December, I just want to go back and see if we have a possible area that we can mark down, or are we nearing all-time lows here? Nope.
No, you got to go back to 0708.
I'm not sure how significant this thing is going to be, but we've seen situations where it actually does play. Some people do go back and it plays a part. So let's mark down 55.51. Again, just seems like the whole dollars will be an area where you want to focus on, but 55.51 seems to be the next best level on there. All right, so that's Oxy. Pre-market action on Oxy is not looking great. I'm probably going to drop this one, but we have some levels in case it hits our scanners. Now here, BABA does have a good pre-market action. Again, this thing looks a lot better than most of the stuff we're having here today. Let's remove some levels. Let's get some clean ones in here. Hitting this moving average nicely right now. You can see also, I'm going to put a line right in here, 183.60. 62. Now I know this is chop, right? This is chop, and it's very difficult to find levels in chop. But if you notice throughout all this chop, gapping up, selling off, gapping back up, it never breaks this level here once there, but it really never loses this 183. Now you have a moving average coming out, so that could be a good area where it might want to bounce from. As you can see, it tested at today, 163, 183.65 is the low of the pre-market, and it bounced from there. So I'm going to mark that down. That looks good. If it can break that. Again, this is where it becomes difficult finding levels, because look at this chop, right? The daily chart on BABA is not great. In here, where do you put your level, right? Yeah, I can put it here, and actually that does look good. I can put it here and that looks great, right? But you can also put it right in here where this day is at, and this also looks great. You got several days on here. So again, you don't have no clear indication of what's the best level when you have this type of chop. But I'm going to leave those there. Those actually, this one doesn't not that bad though, actually. This one looks okay, 176.62. After I put it on here, I can see that it looks somewhat clean. But again, not the best when you have this type of chop. Towards the top, you have a moving average coming in. I'm going to mark down this moving average on the daily, 188.52. We'll mark that down. And then you have several highs and lows all the way up here. Again, we have a big drop, 4.9 on BABA. So let's see what it does at the open. The SPY is still 1.4. Has not done, pretty flat. Has not done anything. Has not sold up, sold down. It's just kind of hanging out there waiting for the open. And everything else is doing the exact same thing. So that's what I have so far, guys. Let's look at these two down here. Z, Y, and E. Again, one of the few that are up this morning, up 6.6. Pre-market action doesn't look great. Again, and the volume still not coming in. We've been sitting at 118,000 for some time now, and it's really not doing much. So the daily chart looks good. We have a level clearly all the way up here, and then we also have a level high of the day sitting at 1250. Mark that down, and then 1307 is another level towards the top. Just give me 1 second, guys. All right, so we got some levels in here, but again, looking at the pre-market action, and this one just doesn't look great, doesn't really have the volume, so I'm just going to remove this one, guys. But we have some levels in case it hits our moving our turbo breakdown, turbo break up. Then here, AXSM does have some volume, 133,000 shares traded, but it's really not creating a good pre-market action, guys. And it's a lower flow, it's 17.5, not a low flow per se. It's not in the tens or the 9 or the single digit in millions of flow, but it's down quite a bit. And again, this is not a clean pre-market action. Yeah, it's nice, it's up 9.4, but it's not really giving us any movement this morning. It just seems to have a nice pop and then just drop down and then pretty flat throughout the day. So just to be prepared, we'll do some levels for it, but I'm going to remove it from my list. We have 22.79 high of the pre-market. Below that, you really only have these consolidation of these days here, which is sitting where the low of the day is right now at 17.78, and you also have that 17.95, that 18 level, which is the previous day close. So that's your best level towards the bottom. Let's move back here and see what else we have. It's been a nice climb over the last couple of months since January. Yep. Oh, is that all-time high? So it's no level towards the top here. So went back as far as 2015, nothing up there. It's been a nice little trend trade over the last couple of months. So you can see here, starting at 6, now hanging around above 18. So interesting, but again, the pre-market action is just not looking great at the moment. It looks like it's trying to hold this level here. If we can get the volume, then this can become really nice. Let's hold on to it. Let's see if we can get the volume in here. And get back to that 22.77. That'll be great. All right, folks. That is what I have. Anything you have on your end that we might have not looked at? You know what we did not do, Sam? I see you mentioned AMTX. We did not go through this list here. Let's go through it real quick. NASDAQ active, AMTX. As you can see here, up 71.3, 2.2 million shares traded so far. What is the flow on this? 16.25. It's not bad. Let's add this on here. AMTX. So we do have some activity here. I personally don't like to trade anything under $5. But this one seems to be very active, has a good pre-market action. Let's do some levels for it. High of the pre-market sitting at 157. Let's get some levels back here. We actually have a pop right in here around 172. Huge pop over here at 196, and another one all the way up here at 241. So plenty of levels towards the top. Towards the bottom, you can clearly see there's some activity here at 144, and then you have 2 days, 1, 2, sitting at this 123 in case we want to sell off a bit. So yep, we got some activity, some good volume, 2.2 million shares traded so far. This is nice. TVIX, as we know, is a volatility index, so we'll skip that. Popping up a bit here, obviously, because the SPY is down, the markets are down. AOVID, nothing happening. ESPR, no volume. ADAP, not much going on. AXSM, we have. VIX, nothing happening here. ATHE, no volume. DRRX, nothing. ZYNE, we did some levels for this, but again, not a good pre-market action. Volume is not really coming in, but you're ready in case it does hit our scanners. AMD, I do like AMD. It's got somewhat of a decent pre-market action compared to everything else we have this morning. We already went over this one as well. Same here. Okay, so a lot of repetition. And Apple, what's Apple doing? Apple's starting to look interesting. It's getting some activity here. Yeah, Apple's definitely in play. I chose to watch BABA out of the higher price stock. I think that one has a really good pre-market action. Like you mentioned earlier. This one too, though. Apple's, if you want to watch Apple, that's in play. MU, we did some levels on that. And then last one, Fred, a penny stock, not much going on there. All right, guys, so this is the list I have already. We'll look at one more, CNSL. No volume on CNSL, Angie, so we'll skip that one. It's like it's been dropping over the last couple of days, but no volume. We do have shares for sure. It could be something that's trying to bounce here. It's trying to get a bottom, but again, at the moment, no volume. Norm, any announcements or anything we missed before we hop off?
No, stay tuned to our YouTube channel for the broadcast of the challenge results. I believe it'll be tonight. We're, like Carlos said earlier, we're still going through a little bit of data on that to work out just some metrics to show how the
equity curve
consistency worked in this one, which is what we were trying to reward. Of course, Brian's swing trading session is this afternoon at 2:30 market time Eastern, so that should be really cool. He's going to kick off that series, and then I think I'm forgetting something, Carlos.
Your meetup.
I can't remember.
You have your meetup coming up in Texas.
Yeah. How did I forget that? We've got Andrew coming for our Texas meetups on the 19th in Dallas. I believe we're going to do Moxie's in Uptown. I'm trying to figure out exactly what time, maybe 4 or 5 o'clock. So a little afternoon Sunday fun day. And then Austin on the 20th. It's going to be at an Italian restaurant, I believe, in the northern part of town in the Domain. But we'll get all that info posted real soon. Check the Facebook page and RSVP there if you could. Excellent. If you're coming to either.
Excellent. So someone mentioned one last one, NIO. So the NIO, this is not a great pre-market action. So don't get fooled, guys, by this volume. Look at this volume, 977,000 shares traded. But if you look at something like, I don't know, like I'm trying to find one that looks better. BABA, for example, has a lot less shares traded, right? 200,000 shares less, and it has a better pre-market action. So if you look at NIO, the problem with this one is there's no pre-market action here, right? It's moving between these pennies and not creating any type of good trading environment here. Not a good pre-market action. Daily chart is a little choppy as well, and we know how this can trade. If this stock is not seriously in play, it is one of the most choppiest stocks I've ever seen. I stay away from it, so just be careful. Don't be fooled by the volume. It's down 5.2 today. But this pre-market action is really not in play. Not saying that it cannot, at the market open, it cannot give you a great move, opening range breakup, breakdown, maybe a double bottom. But I rather give my attention to these stocks here that can actually give you a nice clean move that we have looked at in the past. So again, just be very careful. And if you look at it now, this all looks like algorithm trading right here, right? This is all algos. It's really, really choppy right between these couple of cents here. So careful in trading that. Don't just look at the volume. Make sure you're looking at the pre-market action is also very, very important. All right, guys. Hope you have a great trading day today. Hope you enjoy the pre-market show. As we start this week, stay focused. Again, this is a day where look at this gappers list just continues to get bigger. You want to be very picky on what you watch today. Sit back. Let's see what the SPY does. It's down 1.6 now. Let it settle in. Wait those 5 to 10 minutes before you trade something, especially on a day like today. It seems like everybody's just kind of holding off, waiting to see what's going to be the trend for today. So take care, guys. Hit a thumbs up if you like the pre-market show. And look out for our results for the dash. One more thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. One more quick announcement. We're going to have our next Bearable Traders YouTube Ask Me Anything, May 12th, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be with Andrew and you, correct?
Yes. It's going to be me or Peter. We haven't decided yet, but we're definitely doing the next one. Andrew is going to be on the next one for sure. Can't wait. It's going to be exciting. So yeah, definitely look out for that. Sign up to the channel so you can get those alerts as well when we do that. All right, guys, take care. Again, have a great trading day. Be patient. Again, I can't say it enough. Be patient today. It's a lot on here. Be picky. Wait for it to settle down and get some good trading in there. Take care, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.